Alright, so I wanted to give you a quick look at how to render out an animation so that you get an image sequence that you can import into After Effects or whatever else. This only takes just a minute, so this is going to be a very short video. So you can see I've got just a moving camera. Really, that's all that's going on in this scene. Camera kind of swivels up and around and points down at the cube. No big deal. So what we want to do is render this out. We could render out a play blast, but that's just going to give us what we have on screen. In order to get something that is essentially a series of images like this one being all nice and out of focus, that's okay, we won't worry about that. You can then save these. It will include the alpha channel like this so that you can layer it over different things in After Effects or whatever the case may be. So first thing that we're going to do is go quickly up to the render settings, which is this little render button here. This is called the render globals. And this will give you just kind of all of your basic control over what gets rendered out when you either render a single image or you render a sequence of images. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a file name. This is not set using scene name, which is okay, or you can put something in here. This is box render. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is choose an image format. By default, this is going to go to the Maya IFF file, which is not a very useful file because not a lot of programs can open it. I think they may have recently added Photoshop support for it, but even that, can get a little bit dicey. So I'm going to choose a Targa file because it's uncompressed, includes an alpha channel, and generally is going to give you a nice clean image. So click on this, and we'll scroll down till we see Targa, and click on that. And then the next thing is the frame and animation extension. By default, this is set up to only render a single frame, and we need more than a single frame. So we're going to click on this, and usually a good way of doing it is name.number.extension. So it will be the file name or the render name, box_render, like I've got, dot, and then the frame number, so frame number whatever, dot TGA for a Targa file. You could also use name_number.extension. That one works good too, but any one of these, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Usually the ones to not choose are the ones with the number after the extension because that can be harder to read and sort. So I want to make sure I get the extension at the end, and yeah, I think I'll do name_number.extension. So that works. Frame padding is how many zeros it puts in. So in this case, our first frame will be box render _0001. Now you just want this to be at least one number higher than the number of digits that you have in your frame number. So if I've got 3 digits in the frame, so 100 frames up to 999 frames, which I don't think anybody will have really more than that, a padding level of 4 is fine. If you're going to render out more than 1,000 frames, you can bump it up to 5. But usually this will keep it pretty clean. You could go down to 3, but I usually like to give myself just a little bit of space, just so you know. And then the last thing here, there are 2 things left. The next thing is the frame range. So we want to start rendering on frame 1, and we want to end on frame 120. And if you're rendering out a preview, you can skip frames, so say every 4 frames. So it's going to render kind of a choppy animation. It's only going to take a quarter of the time to render, but it'll give you a good kind of low frame rate preview. So something to remember there. And we're not going to worry about renumber frames. Renderable camera. Now, if you haven't put a camera in your scene, this is going to default to perspective. And even once you put a camera, it sometimes will stay on perspective. What you'll want to do is choose the camera that you want to render from. In this case, I have camera 1, which is where all my animation is taking place in this case. And leave on or leave checked, or check it if it's not checked, alpha channel mask, because that's going to give you something that you can then lay over other stuff. All this other stuff should be set at default the way it is, and that's okay. If you'd like to render out at 1080p or something, you can do that. HD 540, which is half of 1080p, is totally fine for a project like this. And then everything else we won't even worry about for now. If you've gone and changed some things with, you're rendering with Mental Ray or some other things like that, this tab won't say Maya Software, it will say Mental Ray, and all of those settings are completely separate from your common settings. So if you set up these common ones, it doesn't matter what you do as far as your finished render quality, these are going to stay the same. So we'll go ahead and close that. Make sure you're in the rendering little drop down here in the top left. Then we go up to render, batch render, and then you can check the option box if you'd like to. This is just going to give you two options now. It's going to be use all available processors, which is fine because we want to use everything the computer's got. And then you can either choose batch render or batch render and close. Really, they do the same thing. Continue. I've got the academic version installed here. And you can see here at the bottom it says result rendering with Maya software. And if I open up down here, you can see that there's this separate instance of Maya opening up, and there's this batch render monitor opening. So if I go over to that, it doesn't have anything going on yet. It'll take it a minute here, so let me close this for now. And once this boots up and renders, you'll get a number on here. Oh, actually, no, it's already going. It's just going too fast for me to even see, but if you can catch that, looks like it's on 94 or 95, it's hard to read, but it is queuing up, and now it's rendering post-processing, so it's just getting my files saved. And where it's going to save these, let's go over to the desktop, is going to be, you go to your users, documents, Maya, projects, default is going to take you to here, and then if we open up images, you can see now I've got box render 1 through, looks like it's on frame 105, oops, 111, see it's plowing through these because this is a very simple render, 119, and then the last one is going to be 120, and there we go. So if I just look at these, it's going to be just my box, my little out of focus box, and the animation. Excuse me. Okay, so there you go. You've got this. You can step through it that way if you want, but then what you'll want to do finally is open up After Effects, and you can import these into After Effects, and then you're pretty much ready to go. So I'll here, let me pause while After Effects boots up. Here in After Effects, and this is an image sequence, so we've imported image sequences before, but just for a quick review, oops, After Effects is still coming up. There we go. Let's go to Import. Eventually. There we go. And you'll have to go dig down and find this if it's not already in your sequence here. So let's go to Documents, Maya, Projects, Default, Images, and then I'll just choose the very first one. See, target sequence is checked here because it knows that I want to get 01 down through 120. Click Open. This does have a straight alpha channel, so just leave it on straight and click OK. And we can close this. And now we'll have the animation here with our nice little out of focus box. Actually, I guess the front corner is in focus, which is what I was trying to do, so that's good. So there's our little animation time. If I take this down and drag it onto a composition, then have a composition with that animation in it, and then if we put something in the background, like say new, let's put in a solid, and we'll just call it blue, and we'll put that in there, drag it underneath, and then you can see you do have an alpha channel. Alright, and there you go. That's about it. So if you have a background you want to put in, you can easily put it in that way, and then just render out of After Effects as we've done with a lot of other things. Any questions or problems, shoot me an email. Other than that, thanks, and see you in the next one.